Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. Well, what a story. Jurgen Klopp is back in football and many fans, especially Dortmund fans, are feeling betrayed. He will take on the head of football role for the RB group. So RB Leipzig, RB Salzburg and whatever RB else. Dortmund fans specifically have reacted very, very badly to this. What do you think as football fans? What do you think as Liverpool fans? Because basically, Klopp in the past has been linked to comments about the commercialisation of football. And Dortmund see themselves as the bastion of credibility, whereby they are a proper football club. They're not about commercial values. They are about football. And that is something that Jurgen Klopp has been somebody that they see as symbolic for. So him taking on the job of head of football for the RB group just seems a bit mercenary to some. What do you think? I think that I never know whether this comment's actually true or not, but there has always been, I've got a lot of respect for Jurgen Klopp, probably more now than when he was at Liverpool, because Liverpool is our biggest rival as United fans. But even at Liverpool, I think he did a fantastic job. Rock and roll football, personality, the sort of guy you'd like to have a pint with. So I don't, it's not that I don't have a horse in this race. I'll give you my comments on it. But I do remember when he took the Liverpool job, there was always this quote, which I never knew whether he spoke, that apparently he was offered or linked to the Man United job and came out with a comment about the Glazers and it's not a proper football club. It's like Disneyland. It's commercial. And I don't know whether he said it, but it sort of stuck with me and many United fans because it's the sort of thing he would say. And he would have been spot on. Liverpool, at the time he went into Liverpool, felt more about football club than Man United, that was being run into the ground by the Glazers, who didn't value the stadium, who let it rust, who was spending silly money here, there and everywhere with no idea, sacking managers all over the place. So it felt like the Klopp sort of thing to do. But obviously, he is now going to take on this role as head of football for head of global football for me, for Red Bull. But look, these are some of the comments that Christian Falk has come out with in relation to Klopp's decision, basically saying that the Klopp hesitated initially, wary of how his decision might be perceived, obviously with Dortmund fans, etc., etc. However, ultimately felt that the position with Red Bull would offer him a respite from the relentless grind of club management. He won't have to watch football every day. But Falk also admitted the move has sparked debate across Germany about whether Klopp has sold his soul, but also recognised the enduring love that Germans have for Klopp. And ultimately, look, I don't think this is going to damage Klopp at all. I mean, there's stories that he actually wants the German job, and I think they would love him for that. I actually look at it and go, I get it. I get why Dortmund fans would look at it. I get why some Liverpool fans would look at it. I get why some people would take the piss out of him, because obviously he has been somebody that has spoken vocally. I mean, look, as a German man walking into Liverpool, and Man United's like this as well, when Sir Alex Ferguson did it, of course, Kenny Dalglish did it at Liverpool, the ability to go into a football club and not just manage the football club well, but relate to the people of that football club is very, very difficult. It's one thing to manage and buy players and get your team to play well. It's another thing to ingratiate yourself with the city and the club and the fans. And Jurgen Klopp did that really, really well. So he is not just your normal manager who goes in and, is successful and works well. He was also a guy that went beyond that and was part of the fabric of Liverpool Football Club to the fans. So when you do that, you do get held up morally. Sir Alex Ferguson has big things to say about politics, etc. It's the same at Manchester United. So if Sir Alex Ferguson went and took a job that went against what you thought his morals were, then some people would say, what's that all about? But it's not deeper than that. I think this is just people going, I'm surprised that Jurgen Klopp, a few months after leaving the Liverpool job, which many people felt, there was even rumours of health concerns and stuff like that, wasn't there? Thankfully, that hasn't come to pass and he's back in football, which I think's great. But he left Liverpool through exhaustion. We can acknowledge and respect that. A few months later, he's taken on a job where he doesn't have to watch football all the time, but he's in football. And what other job is there for him? I look at it like that. He's had a break. He doesn't want to go back in managing football like Liverpool because it was too exhausting. So whether it's Real Madrid, Barcelona, whatever, that's a no-go at the moment. But he wants to keep his eye in football. Well, this is a well-paid job where he can watch a lot of football and be involved in recruitment, etc. And then when the next job comes up, he's not been out of the game for ages either, has he? I mean, it enhances his CV is what I'm trying to say. But we come back to, should he have taken the job? Well, he's got every right to take whatever job he wants to take. Dortmund fans have got every right to think, it's a bit against what he was all about. But are Dortmund offering him a well-paid job as head of global sport for Dortmund? No, they're not. And sometimes I think we project our beliefs and desires on people and expect them just to sit there at home and not earn money and not make a living and not enjoy themselves. And obviously he wants to get back into football. So I think for me, I don't even see it as him back in football. I mean, what's it going to do? Who does it benefit? I mean, he might do a few interviews here and there. I'm looking forward to Jurgen Klopp back in football, and I think that will come at some point in the next few years. But it's certainly generated a lot of conversation, and my stance is that Jurgen Klopp is free to do what he wants to do. And I don't think it's really something that should be held against him. And I don't think long term it will. I just think some people are surprised, and I get it, that this guy, who for many years has been at Dortmund and Liverpool and spoken about the commercialisation of football and how it's, getting out of control, then he goes and takes control of, and let me just say, the landscape in football in Germany is very different to England. They have this 50+1 model. They are very ingratiated into their clubs, and the RB Leipzig team is judged as isn't looked upon fondly. So you've got to understand the level, the landscape of German football as well, and why Dortmund fans would feel so betrayed by it, actually, because Leipzig are not looked on fondly in the Bundesliga and in the German league. Predominantly, they're not. So, but look, get your comments in below. What are your thoughts on it? I hope that it's a pathway for Jurgen Klopp back into football at some point. I think there's two jobs that fit him like a glove. I think one is Barcelona, and I think one is the German national team. And I would love to see him back in football, managing one of those two at some point in the future. And if this is the first step back, great. Because at the moment, I think Liverpool and Klopp, their relationship endures. Legend of that football club. Left it with a very, very healthy position that Arne Slot's picked up and is doing well with. So you move on, don't you? That's what happens in life. That's how it is. But as I say, get your comments in below. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. And just a quick reminder, if you're into my TUSFC career mode, it is out on the Mark Goldbridge channel, episode 4 today. So give that a watch. If you're stuck in the international break looking for a bit of action, then we can provide you with a little bit of football action as well. Please also smash a like and subscribe, and do get your comments in. As always, we like to react to all the latest football news, and I thought this was an interesting one to give your eyes on. Is it a storm in a teacup? Not really, if you understand the German perspective. But look, man's got to get back into football, hasn't he? And I think this is just what he's looking to do. Take care. Speak to you all in a bit.